So, welcome to the Let's Play for Kulebra and the Souls of Limbo. I'm with Paolo and Pavel.
Hello. Hi there. Nice to
Hello.
be here.
Yeah, so I'll delete my save and then we'll start a new one. Um,
Okay.
so there is quite a bit of story at first. We'll go through the first cutscene. Actually, I forgot to share my screen with you guys so you can watch along.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. We can see him.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll go a lot better instead of just me describing what I'm looking at. Okay.
I mean, we made the game. So
So who was the artist and who was the programmer for the game?
I am the artist of the team, Paulo, Lara, and yeah, basically I did the 3D modeling, the 3D models and 2D art, etc., story and things like that. Pavel here is the programmer, and I think he can do a better job describing his
no, yeah,
tasks.
no, yeah. I guess the bottom line is that we complement each other pretty well in that sense. Since I really can't draw to save my life, and over here Paul can't code to save his life either. So yeah, we catch our blind spots pretty well. Like Paul takes care of all the art, all the drawings, 3D models, and I take care of the engine, more like the code side, making sure everything works as intended.
And you guys are brothers, right?
Yes.
So that's like a perfect combination that you have the opposite strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing we can cover for is music, but we have a sax trifle to thank for that.
He's
Yeah.
the composer of the team, and he has done a very wonderful job, and we're quite impressed with his.
Yeah, especially I was watching the trailer earlier, and the music from the trailer especially is amazing. It goes through so many different sort of themes for the trailer as well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I don't know how he does it, but that's his thing.
So
He even
oh yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Okay. So Zach even got to the point where he did like live recordings of the instruments just to make it feel more immersive. So it's
Really?
pretty, yeah. The violin got recorded, and it's pretty amazing. But yeah, go ahead.
That's impressive. Yeah, I wanted to ask about the different inspirations for the game because for me, on my first impression, I think Paper Mario would be something that a lot of people would notice just because of the mix of flat sprites with the 3D environment. But can you speak about other inspirations that you guys had for the game?
Oh yeah, actually, I would say that the core or the main inspiration for the game is Majora's Mask, The Legend of Zelda, the one for Nintendo 64. That's the one that the gameplay is based the most about, especially focused on the side quests in which you have to keep track of the schedule of people in order to help them with their problems. And I would say that Paper Mario comes more to an aesthetics reference,
Yeah.
in which we wanted to create this 3D environment, but we wanted to simplify things. So we thought of a paper, not sorry, a pop-up book look for the game, and Paper Mario was right there, so was pretty natural to follow it as a reference, visually speaking. And some of the way the characters would walk and interact was also a very good reference for.
Yeah, and, to your point of Majora's Mask, yeah, we'll soon meet this character. I forget the name of it, but he's a bird, and they open up this
Yes.
sort of the day cycle, and then, as you said, it really shows the sort of Majora's Mask inspirations, how you
Yes.
do certain quests and you have to notice what time of the day that you're in, and
Exactly. The game really focuses on the day cycle in order to help the people around.
Something to note is that in Majora's Mask that was more like a side, like it's a core part of the game, but it's also like the side content of the game, like side quests. But we wanted to actually make a game that revolves entirely around that mechanic of just like the scheduling and characters moving around depending on the time of the day and making a plan for the day, what you should be doing. That's basically our like like we say, the core of the game, where we gameplay wise.
Yeah, we certainly see that with those characters that we'll see soon enough. And what about the visual art style? Is you guys are both from Dominican? Is the art style sort of inspired by that, or can you talk to me about the sort of the inspirations for the style of the art?
Well, it's been a fun process too, and funny as well. But um, the the thing is started from the mobile version of the game. And sorry that I'm backtracking so far far back.
Go ahead.
But the first iteration of Kulebra was a mobile game. And the aesthetics come from software limitations at the very beginning, because we wanted to make a snake in a mobile game zigzagging around, but we had software limitations in which we couldn't generate a full tail, so we had to divide it in small pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I guess
there-
I should just mention real quick that the mobile game was a completely different genre. It was an endless runner with story elements.
Yeah, it was just an endless runner collecting things with story elements. Yeah, that's the part that we like the most about the whole gameplay back then. And well, just to justify having a skeleton snake, or a snake divided into pieces, we came up with the idea of making it a skeleton. So we just looked for reference and themes that would be suitable for the theme, and the Day of the Dead, as the Mexican folklore, came as a direct inspiration. And we took a lot of inspiration from there in that regard.
Yeah,
It's
from the sort of the skeletons and then the colors as well. I picked up a similar thing, the sort of the Day of the Dead. Aesthetic.
exactly.
Yeah.
Visually, it has a lot of it takes a lot from there, but in lore wise, it's very vanilla. It's more like a very a vanilla approach to the whole lore of it.
Yeah, and this is
Something
sort of
else?
what we were talking about with the day cycle that we see now.
Yeah.
But yeah, go
Oh
ahead.
yeah.
No, I guess something to mention also that I actually gave it some thought. Looking back at it, it does kind of look, the head of Kulebra does kind of look a little bit like the one from the Limping demo, I guess. Just going back to Dominican inspiration.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. The main character has some inspiration also from the Dominican Republic, very subtle, but there's a carnival there, and one of the characters of the Dominican carnival, it's called the Limping Devil, or Diablo Cajuelo in Spanish, and
Yeah.
the shape of Kulebra's head takes a lot of inspiration from there too.
That's really cool. And who did the sort of the story or the writing? Because I think, well, mixed with the music that we talked about, the music is really good, but the music matches so well with the characters and the writing as well. So who did the writing?
I took a big part of the writing in when it comes to the lore, the story, and the way the characters speak to an emotional those like key elements. But Pavel also helps me with things like quests and filling the gaps in technical things and that kind of details. But lore wise, I guess that's my role.
Yeah.
When it's the dramatic parts of the whole story.
Yeah, I guess going back to the complementary aspect of the team, Paulo, he has he's the one that writes like the whole lore setting, the characters and the scenario, and I take care more of the gameplay aspects of the game.
Oh, that's a good example. For example, the entries of the notebook there, those were written by Paul based on the notes and things like that. So he takes a very a way more systematic approach to things, in which I'm very bad at.
And I really enjoyed the notebook. It was fun. It's fun to go in and that you receive more information from the characters that you meet as well. It's really fun.
Oh, thanks. It's very good to hear that someone enjoys it because it's the main source for people not to get lost. So it's important for it to be entertaining.
And to mention, the notebook is if you're familiar with Majora's Mask, you play that game, you might have found the Bomb notebook that it helps you keep track of the side quests you need to do with the townsfolk. So the notebook was an expansion on that mechanic that we wanted to have like a central point where players can review information, because this game is very something we like to define it is a detective-esque game. You go around asking people and you get information, and the objective of the game is just like putting the pieces together to know what you have to do next. And the notebook helps a lot to make sure you don't have missing information. Like for example, if you miss some kind of information a character told you, the notebook will highlight that information to make sure that you don't miss out on it or you don't get lost.
You could also say that the game it's kind of a point and click adventure, but with a 3D environment. So the way the puzzles unfold are very similar to a point and click adventure. Actually, at some point, one of the first iterations of this version of the game was a point and click, but we weren't that happy with it. So we decided to make it a little bit more immersive, or maybe visceral, for a lack of a better word.
Yeah.
We wanted you to be able to see the character moving around. I think it's cute, so it was well worth it.
I've been on this screen here because I wanted to show everyone that just two things that really I enjoyed is seeing in the distance the city, and sort of you as the player know that okay, eventually I can get there. And then the second thing was I love these sorts of collectibles, and I noticed the pot. If you back up a little bit, you see the pot on the edge, and you as the player just like I need to somehow get that thing down and to discover that there are these different collectibles. It's so fun. It makes you just want to explore the world and see if there's little things hidden all over the place.
Oh, funny that you mentioned that, because that's one of the things that I would like to also take from Majora's Mask in a way, is that when I play that game, which is also my favorite game, by the way, Majora's Mask, that's one of the main reasons why I got so inspired by it, is that whenever I would explore around in the game, I would always find secrets everywhere. So I had this feel of it felt very nice to explore around due to the game packing so much content in such a small place.
Yeah.
And it really made the world feel alive, or gets that spark for you to explore. So yeah, it's I like to have that same feeling in a way that you can look around and find secrets everywhere, that type of things.
Yeah, I'm very much the same way, where I see those things and it just makes me want to go through, look behind every tree or explore just more, because I know that there are things that you can find.
Yes.
It's also fun just to smash things around.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like consistent among all games.
Yeah, smashing is always fun.
Speaking of which,
now that you mention it, the roll mechanic would also come just to make the 3D environment more entertaining, since it could be a little stale just having the character walking around. So we gave the spinning ability or roll, and with that we added the smashing things just to complement the puzzle elements in a 3D environment.
Yeah, we originally it's just everything started just writing itself, I guess, for the lack of a better word. Like, we would like Kulebra to be able to smash stuff, and then we thought he can turn into a wheel too, and then he can also go faster around the environment. I don't know if it was the other way around though, but you get the concept. It was basically everything started fitting together quite nicely. And yeah, it's something that also was an inspiration for the rolling. Have you ever, in many games, let's just say Paper Mario or any other platforming where you have to move from one place to another, you start randomly pressing the jump button because you don't have anything to do, so you try to do something to entertain yourself in the meantime. We wanted to have the wheel to be sort of like a mini game while going from one place to another, to make sure it's you have fun in just moving around from one place to another. That's something I value a lot in games, just moving around being fun.
Yeah, and just going back to Majora's Mask, it's the same thing where when I play, I'm just doing I don't know what it's called, the spin. I'm making Link spin everywhere because it's just so it's really fun, and the fact that it actually goes faster as well, it benefits getting around. So
yes,
yeah, and this animation is beautiful too. It's just so many of the animations themselves, but this one especially stood out to me. I like the blend of colors and how you get the impression that they're going so fast just from the animation.
I really appreciate that. That one was to me the getting that one into up to that point was quite a challenge. I'm not so much of an animator, so I'm mainly an illustrator. So every time I have to animate, I just have to switch hats, and
Yeah.
it can get a little tedious. But I'm very happy on how that one turned out, and also that animation was the whole reason why we changed the way we animated things. They used to be the characters used to be composed by like
Used to be like puppets, I guess.
yeah, like puppets with small with separated arms and things like that. But when it came to make that animation, we were having issues and it wasn't flowing that well. So we decided to change to sprites
Yeah.
and also simplify the amount of frames that each animation had. So now we have like 2 frames for an standing animation instead of a whole flowy 6 frame character moving around. So yeah, it turned out pretty nice.
I think it was for the better in the end. I think it looks much better how it is, more dynamic, I will say.
Oh yeah, never mind all the problems that we had with the tool.
But yeah, the previous version, importing it into the game, it was
Yeah.
like it was a real pain. Like constantly it was breaking, and I had to go get in there and fixing it. So
Yeah,
this makes the process a lot more
more smooth.
manageable.
Yeah, the puppet tool was breaking like hell. It would look nice on my side, and when I would import things to Unity, and when we would import things to Unity, things would crash. Kulebra would have its head upside down, maybe missing things
And I
like
will
that.
cry.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
but yeah, we're happy with this one. It's way more precise, more effective.
So I played some of the demo before, and I stopped right before I came into the shop because I thought, okay, well, I want to save more of the game. I want to be a bit surprised while we're doing this Let's Play. So now I'm so happy to meet these different characters, and going back to you being the illustrator, the characters they're so full of life. I don't know if it's the colors or but the eyes, they seem so expressive on both of these characters.
Oh, thanks.
Kind of ironic that they're full of life.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. No, yeah, I like to illustrate the characters with a bunch of color, and I think that helps a lot to highlight their personality, things like that. The starry eyes is something that came with this game. Actually, I don't think before this game I ever draw a character with starry eyes. So it's like those little particles inside, and yeah.
So now I have to admit that it's difficult to. Oh, I was gonna ask if I could get a tip for what to do next, but I think maybe we'll get some information here.
Oh,
Ah, okay.
oh yeah, this is a very useful tool. So.
Yeah. Because now, yeah, the shopkeeper inside mentioned that, oh, if you want help, come back tomorrow.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
So I guess this bench or this moment here acts as a bit of a tutorial, teaching you how to use the time mechanic a bit to yourself as well.
I would jump to maybe let's go. You can go to the evening, and then we can go at night just to have a look at the
Oh yeah,
way
yeah.
things.
From the trailers, I saw that all of the different cycles in the day have different art style to go with it as well.
Yeah, you can. We had to work on each scene like by separate, so they are pretty moody, just to have a good feel around things. Yeah, we can.
Like I said, we can't help you. Oh, okay. It's really fun you have these sort of things that you remember that, okay, now I need to go back during the day or during the night. And again, like Majora's Mask, there's so many little things that make you want to go back and revisit things.
It's like putting things together is the most fun, one of the most fun things of the game. But you could also go to
Just one of those things, I guess, as an example. Like I don't know if you missed it, but grow. He likes one of the things he likes to do, for example, is watching the sunset from like on the top of the cliff. So
Ah,
that gives you a little bit of a hint, like, oh, maybe I could like go back to this place at evening, or things like that.
yeah.
But we are, and yeah, as you see, it's right there.
Yeah, it is a bit difficult to concentrate on,
Oh
especially when
no,
something
yeah.
is text heavy. But I appreciate the hints because that's really
Oh no, yeah, and you're actually doing very well. I don't think I would be able to manage to do both things. My brain doesn't.
Yeah, you're doing well. I mean, especially impressive considering the multitasking thing.
yeah. The talking boulder, yeah. I love the irony that well, right now, anyways, that talking boulder just does not talk.
Yeah.
Okay, day and evening. Okay, won't talk to me. And the colored text is such a good like highlight that if you
Oh, yeah.
just notice it right away, oh, okay, I know what I need to do.
Oh, yes. It can be very taxing to just read like every little word in
Yeah.
a game. So the highlights are lifesavers.
No, yeah,
So
yes,
based on that clue, I guess we can go at night and
Yeah.
give it a try too.
No, yeah, but it's like it's very useful. It's easy when you already know like the structure of the game, and know like everything what the player has to do and what they have to look out for. It's easy to figure out like, oh, okay, you have to do that as a developer. But the thing is that for a person that is going through the game for the first time, that's a very different experience, and just like having to read all that, it can get overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to know, okay, what's supposed to be just like a text that is just for fun there, or what's the things that you really need to pay attention to. So the main reason that's like, as you mentioned, the highlight and also the notebook is one of those things that is there to like to ease it up, to make sure you don't get too lost, because I know it's keeping track of all that information is not as easy when you are on the other end. Like, but we made the game and we know exactly what you need to be looking out for, so
Yeah.
it will be easy for us. But it's not the same story for someone playing through the game for the first time.
Yeah, it's quite tricky as a developer. Of course, you make the game and you know all the answers, and then you sort of, it's hard to place yourself in the shoes of the player because you think, well, of course, this is, we wrote it down here and everyone should know, but not everyone picks up the same information, and yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, and it's quite impressive how players can react to things. At some point, someone was planning to like throw a bottle of acid to one of the characters to see if that would work. Let's pretend like noise. Sorry about the noise there. It's
Oh no, it's okay. It's not coming through very loud.
okay. And no, yeah, to me it was quite a surprise that they were thinking of getting a bottle of chemical throwing to a character just to solve the issue. It was fairly violent, but well, I guess it's an approach.
So I think our time is nearly up, and I think I'll sort of go through the door if it opens up, and I'll show the players sort of the next area. But before we come to an end, is there anything that you guys want to mention or talk about?
Oh, that door won't open in a while.
Okay.
That'll take quite a bit of time, but
Yeah, the movies around it's like from 2 to 3 hours long. So
okay.
well, 1 hour and a half to 3 hours depending on how you play. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of content there, and no, yeah, things that we would like to say. No, yeah, thanks for playing the game. We're here if you have any questions, and if anyone wants to reach us, we're open to anyone that wants to talk and even discuss about the game or anything. We always enjoy people's feedback on it, and yeah, we are on Twitter, Gala Games, and also on Instagram.
no, and also just to mention, thanks a lot for considering us as a finalist for the GWDC. Did I get this?
GDWC. I forgot for a moment. GDWC.
No, yeah, that was a nice surprise. No, yeah, we just saw it this morning. The announcement. Yeah, we're very happy to be here.
Yeah, I think well deserved. I wasn't one of the judges, but Kulebra is exactly the type of game that I'm interested in. So if I could have voted, I certainly would have given praise to you guys. I'm really enjoying the demo, and I'm going to keep playing more afterwards. This is really fun, and the puzzles are tricky enough, but not so difficult that you feel stuck. I think there's so many different hints and systems in place to make sure that you can solve them.
And there's one little thing I would like to check out, because this is one of the things I'm the most proud of. People enjoy it with the lock door. With the item you had right now is a little mini game that I know the other one you were checking a moment ago.
Oh,
let's go to the right just to check that one.
This one here?
Yes.
Yeah. If you examine the item that you have right now, this is something actually just a little bit of inspiration from a game Resident Evil that has a similar mechanic. And you go, but basically you can use there is a lock picking mini game that people surprisingly is one of their favorite.
So it's like a memory game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I just wanted to show that real quick.
Yeah. I've never seen there's been many sort of unlocking doors things, but I've never seen it quite like that. That was really cool.
Thank you.
I guess the last thing, if you want to take one final look, since we're so close to it, you can go up and try to lean to the wall.
Oh, there's a little hole.
If you press, you try to walk to the wall.
Oh, that's really clever.
And that's also one of the main mechanics, which allows you to spy people and find out what they may be hiding, things like that.
I was sitting on it. Yeah, all right. Well, we can end it here. The time is up for us. So thanks again for joining us. This is really, really fun, and I can't wait to play more. And I hope you guys have great success with the game. And if anyone is interested, again, the demo is on Steam, so everyone should check it out.
Thank you very much, David. Have a good one.
Okay, thank you.
Take care. See you.